Hi, I'm Nancy Drew. Since you can tell a lot about a person by where he or she lives, I thought I'd introduce myself by showing you my room. As you can see, I keep... Anyway, here's my center of operations.
When Chantal told me you were just a young thing, well, I thought she was pulling my leg. But you're not much older than my little girl, Freddie.
Well, if one of the people at the lodge is to blame for all those accidents, Chantal thinks somebody like me has a better chance of figuring out who it is than somebody more, hard-nosed.
Chantal has a bad habit of making up her mind without thinking things clear through. No need for you to tell her I said that, of course.
Is she still in Edmonton?
Afraid so. Insurance company's giving her and her lawyers a real hard time. Left running the lodge up to me. Which is why I'm not real crazy about the idea of having somebody new underfoot, especially if something else happens.
I won't be underfoot, Mr. Randall, and I may be young, but I'm no novice when it comes to solving mysteries.
We're here, so you'll get to prove yourself soon enough. You hear that? Well, now, what was that?
Was anyone in the bunkhouse when it exploded?
No, ma'am. Everyone here at the lodge is accounted for.
That's where Elsa and Becky had been living. Guess it was a good thing they quit after all. Elsa was my maid and Becky was my cook. Does the sheriff have any idea why the bunkhouse exploded?
He said he'd know more after the lab was done running tests on the debris he'd collected. He did say the blast was pretty powerful.
One of his deputies found the knob to the back door clear out on the highway.
That does it. Nancy, you have to find out who or what is behind these incidents, and you have to do it fast.
You sure you don't want to give your daddy a call?
My dad runs a whole chain of resorts, Ollie. If you think I'm going to admit to him that I can't handle running just one, guess again. Besides, Nancy comes highly recommended, and I'm sure she's got a foolproof plan for getting to the bottom of this. Don't you, Nancy?
Well, I was thinking that maybe I'd just be your new maid.
You want to be my maid?
That would give me access to everyone's room, and I could question people without making them overly suspicious.
Oh, yeah! That's an excellent an idea. All right, you're my new maid. In fact, you're my new cook, too.
Your cook?
Well, that way, Ollie can stop pretending he can even read a recipe, let alone follow one. You'll have even more excuses to talk to the guests, and I won't have to pay anyone.
Why, I think that's a fine idea, ma'am.
Now, we're not taking any more guests until this accident thing is cleared up. So I want both of you to make sure that the 4 guests we have are well taken care of. Especially that Olympic-caliber cross-country skier from Fredonia, Yanni Volstaya. The flair he brings to the lodge is just what I need to attract the European jet-setting crowd.
I'm gonna be pretty busy trying to get rid of that wolf, Chantal.
We heard it howl last night, just before the bunkhouse blew up.
Well, do whatever you have to, Ollie. Oh, and Nancy, I want you to call this police detective I've hired as a consultant. I put his number on the phone there at the lodge. In fact, I think you know him. Tino Balducci? I gotta go. My lawyer's here. Good luck, you guys, and keep me posted. Coming!
Tino Balducci.
I'll get you a master key and leave it in your room. If you need anything else, I'll be in the basement.
This must be the key Ollie said he'd leave for me. And this must be a list of which guest is in what room. That'll come in handy. Skating pond maintenance. Oh, looks like I'm going to be doing a little bit of everything while I'm here. Report all avalanches to the Avalanche Patrol. Shoot, I can't clean this room yet. I don't have anything to put the dirty laundry in. That's finished. Check. Can't check that off yet. Still need to do that. Still need to do that. Looks like Elsa was having major boyfriend problems. Chantal, this is my formal notice of resignation. Please call me at 555-2383 if you expect any delay with the check. Elsa. Been there, done that. Check. That's finished. Oops, haven't done that. I don't want to carry dirty laundry around all day. I should get rid of this bag. This must be where I drop the laundry bag after I'm done cleaning all the rooms. That's not what goes here. Check. Oops, can't check that off yet.
Hello?
Hi, Chantal. It's Nancy Drew.
You know who's behind the accidents?
Not quite yet.
Oh.
About Tino, I'm not totally comfortable with the idea of consulting with him on this case.
Why not? Two heads are always better than one, and I find him to be very knowledgeable and kind of charming.
Do you know what he did when we were on that train trip Laurie Gerard arranged?
He didn't go into a lot of detail, but he did say that that's all water under the bridge. In fact, I insist that if and when you're stumped about something, you ask Tino to help you out. That's what I'm paying him for. Agreed?
Agreed.
Good.
I'd like to hear more about the accidents that have been happening around here.
The first thing that happened was the worst. The Faringdale family and Becky the cook all came down with food poisoning and had to be hospitalized. Somehow, the potato salad got contaminated, although Becky swears it wasn't because of anything she did. I cannot tell you how awful it was. All 5 people became violently ill at roughly the same time. But were they all in the same room? Of course not. They were spread out all over the lodge. Poor Elsa was cleaning for days. And the odor? Oh my gosh. Anyway, then Carl Jenkins slipped on the stairs outside and broke his leg. Then Lou Talbot's window was broken. Then Elsa the maid's tires were slashed. Then the phone wires were cut. And then... oh yeah, and then the Southwaites were almost overcome by fumes when gas started leaking into the sauna.
So, who's suing you?
No one yet. But my lawyers are afraid it's just a matter of time and are trying to figure out what preventative measures to take.
Has anyone talked to you about the World Championship cross-country skiing competition that's going to be held somewhere in this area year after next?
That is something I am not at liberty to discuss.
In other words, the answer is yes.
I didn't say that. Why do you ask?
That would tend to make Icicle Creek Lodge a very desirable piece of real estate, wouldn't it?
If the championship is held nearby, which as far as I know, still hasn't been decided. You think someone's been causing these accidents to run me out of business so they can buy the lodge from me on the cheap?
It's a thought.
And a pretty nasty one at that.
You'll hear from me again later.
One more thing. Ask Yanni if it would be all right if I used his name and picture on the Icicle Creek Lodge website. I mean, when I finally have a website, it would be great publicity, okay?
Sure.
Good. Talk to you soon.
Hey, Nancy! I was wondering when your number there was gonna show up on caller ID. This is Tino Balducci. Remember me? From that last train to Blue Moon Canyon we went on? Yeah, I'm the one who helped you find that long-lost treasure.
I'm not sure helped is the right word, Mr. Balducci.
Please, call me Tino.
In fact, Tino, I'm a little surprised you're still in law enforcement, considering some of the unethical, if not illegal, stunts you pulled back then.
Hey, that's all behind me. Ancient history. Water under the bridge. So, looks like we're gonna be working together on this sabotage thing, huh?
Looks like.
Well, you'll be happy to know that I'm working on something that'll pretty much crack this case wide open. But in the meantime, what can I do you for?
I'm curious, how do you know Chantal?
Friend of a friend heard about all the problems she was having up there and immediately figured she could use my crime-solving expertise. So I gave her a call, we had lunch, we hit it off, and bingo. I got myself a new client.
How many clients do you have?
I have enough. I mean, you go spreading yourself too thin in this business, and the next thing you know, crime out the wazoo. Hey, look, you sure you don't need a hint or something?
Maybe later.
Oh. Well, Chantel hired me to be at your disposal, so you know where to find me. Arrivederci.
Bye.
This is the sheriff's office. Nobody's in the office right now, so you can either hang up and call back, or wait for the beep and leave us a message. Your choice.
I don't need to leave a message. Contents deleted. Wonder why. Been there, done that.
Well, hello there. You must be the new maid Ollie told us about. I'm Bill Kessler. This guy's Lou Talbot.
Hey.
What's your name again?
Nancy Drew. Just thought I'd come over and say hello.
Well, Lou here's a grad student, art major of all things. You're probably gonna need a jackhammer and some hydrochloric acid to clean his room, eh?
Have you two been at the lodge for a while?
About a week, I guess. I checked in right after he did. We sat down after breakfast one morning and discovered that this fox and geese game is pretty darn fun. I've been whipping his tail ever since.
Is this the first time you've been to the lodge?
Yep, sure is. I came for the ice fishing. Of course, knowing there's a renegade wolf running around is kinda dampened my enthusiasm.
Have you seen the wolf?
Just heard it. Every night since I've been here, in fact. Gets creepier each time. They should get rid of it, and the sooner the better. They didn't put up with wolves prowling around this place 40 years ago, and they shouldn't put up with them now.
What are you, Little Red Riding Hood? That wolf's not hurting anybody. People should just leave it alone.
You'll be singing a different tune when it has some little kid for breakfast, then has you for lunch.
Not gonna happen, dude.
Trust me, if something bad can happen, chances are it eventually will, dude. Hey, I know what you can do. Shovel the snow off the skating pond so we can do some speed skating. Lou here thinks he's faster than me.
You're like ancient. Of course I'm faster than you.
You may have youth on your side, my friend, but I've been working construction since before you were born, which means I am more fit now than you will ever be. Get that pond shoveled so we can settle this, okay, kiddo?
Consider it done. No need to go in there till it's time to cook. Not time for kitchen duty yet.
Oh, no.
Is something wrong?
You are what is wrong. Chantal said there would be no more guests to make noise at all hours and disturb my training. Yet what stands before me? A new guest.
No, I'm not a guest. I'm Nancy Drew, the new maid, and the new cook.
Forgive me. Allow me to start over. I am Yanni Vokstaya. I am here to train for the Eastern European Cross-Country Championship. I spend my days doing interval work, drills, and isometric exercises. I follow a strict program, one painstakingly designed by a team of the best coaches in Fredonia. In fact, under no circumstances are you to use your key to let anyone into my room. My competitors are constantly spying on me, trying to steal my techniques.
You think someone's spying on you way out here?
One can never be too careful, so know this. If anything is missing or so much as out of place in my room, you can expect a visit from me, and it will not be a pleasant one.
Have you ever seen the wolf while you were out training?
No, for which I'm very grateful. In my country, in Fredonia, it is said that the gaze of the wolf will make you go blind.
You don't really believe that, do you?
They are creatures of infinite evil, and that is all I am going to say on the matter.
Chantal would like to use your name and picture on her website when she gets it up and running. Would that be okay?
I am sorry, but no.
Oh, Well, so much for that. I hear that a major cross-country skiing competition may be held in this area in a couple of years.
This is very true. It will rival the Olympics.
I also hear that you can be pretty imaginative when it comes to gaining an edge on your competition.
My competitors will stop at nothing to defeat me. I am forced to seek out and exploit every possible advantage open to me. I take no pride in some of the things I've done to bring victory to my country, but I have no choice.
I've disturbed you long enough.
It has been a pleasure.
Need something?
You look busy. What are you making?
I'm building something that's gonna solve all our problems. A wolf trap. One that'll finish off that thing out there once and for all.
You think the wolf is causing the accidents?
Not a doubt in my mind. Everything was A-OK till it showed up and started howling. It's bad luck, and something's protecting it. Something unnatural.
Does Ms. Mawikwe know you're doing this?
She knows she doesn't want that thing around her guests, and you heard her. I'm supposed to do whatever I think is necessary to get rid of it.
But it's not like it's attacking people.
Let me tell you something. Yesterday I went looking for it. I tracked it and finally found it, sitting across the creek, not 20 yards away from me, just staring at me. So I raised my rifle, drew a bead, and fired. Easiest shot I've ever taken in my life. And I missed. So I fired again, and I missed, and then I missed again, and all the while it just sat there staring until finally it just stood up, walked toward the brush just as calm as could be, and disappeared. Wild animals just don't act like that, and I just don't miss like that. There's something real weird about that wolf, and I ain't gonna rest till I get rid of it. So maybe we should just find something else to job out. You met my little girl yet?
No, but you mentioned that her name is Freddie?
Yep. Spends most of her time outside. She built herself a little snow fort. Just sits out there waiting for somebody to go by so she can pick a snowball fight with them. I keep asking her how she manages to stay warm all day, but she won't tell me. Says she's got a secret weapon. Yeah, she's something.
Does your wife, Freddie's mom, does she live here too?
In the summer she does, but in the winter she goes south. See, she's got this nerve condition that makes her real sensitive to cold. Freddie'd like to go with her, but until Chantal stops putting off giving me that raise she promised me, sending Freddie south too is out of the question.
How long have you worked for Chantal?
About 1.5 years. I was her first hire, best hire too. I could run this place single-handed if I had to, just like I'm doing now.
Have you ever been in the guest lodge business before?
I tried my hand at it once. Long story short, didn't work out. But I've learned a whole lot since then. I could make it work now. Just need to find the right property, get my hands on enough cash to make a down payment, that's all.
How do you explain what happened to Carl Jenkins, the former guest who slipped on the stairs and broke his leg?
Can't explain it. 1 minute those stairs were clear and dry, next minute they're slick with ice and he's lying at the bottom of them.
You're positive they were clear and dry?
Yep. Chipped every bit of frozen snow off of them myself. You ask me, somebody iced those stairs down on purpose. 'Cause it wasn't nothing I did, no sir. No sir.
I'll let you get back to work.
If you need anything, just holler.
going to stand here and absorb the warmth. Bone which Trapper Dan found near the lodge. He believed it came from a race of giants known as Rexes. The bone's not there. Wonder what happened to it. No need to go in there till it's time to cook. I'm staying out of there until I have to fix a meal. I'm staying out of there until I have to fix a meal.
Well, who are you?
My name's Nancy Drew.
Perhaps what I should have asked, Nancy, is what are you? You're obviously much too young to be a paying guest.
I'm the new maid.
Oh, the new maid, thank goodness! I was wondering how much longer the owner expected us to endure these conditions and still pay full price.
How long has Elsa been gone?
2 days, I think. Maybe even 3. I don't know. It's all a blur of dirt and dust and soap residue. My name is Guadalupe Comillo. My friends call me Lupe. Be a doll and clean my room first. It'll hardly take you any time at all, especially compared to the other rooms. The other guests are all men. Single men.
Well, I'm happy to report that I've already cleaned your room.
Excellent.
What are you looking at through the binoculars?
Birds. I'm watching birds. That's what I am, you see, a bird watcher. Sometimes I go outside and watch, and sometimes I stay inside. It all depends on what the birds feel like doing and what I feel like doing.
So that's what brought you to Icicle Creek Lodge, the birding?
Absolutely. The place is a veritable birding paradise, even in winter. In fact, in the short time I've been here, I've seen hawks, eagles, orioles, cardinals, jays, nothing truly rare. But to a wildlife lover such as myself, seeing them in such a spectacular setting is thrilling nonetheless.
Have you met the other guests?
I've bumped into them at one time or another, yes. I don't spend all my time in front of this window. That Yanni fellow, he's very talented but extremely intense. His whole life revolves around being the best in the world. As for the two who are always sitting across the way playing that silly game, the older man, Bill Kessler, he's no deep thinker, but he's nice enough. But the other one, that college student, talking to him is like trying to converse with a giant turnip. No social graces whatsoever. I almost prefer talking to the handyman. Almost. Anyone that intent on destroying something as glorious as that wolf is hardly worth talking to.
Well, I'd better stop bugging you and get to work.
Au revoir.
Order up. Order up. Order up. Order up. up. Not time for kitchen duty yet. Guess I better get this pond shoveled off.
through the ice?
Yes, but I'm okay now. I just got a little wet and cold. Actually, I got really cold. My lips turned this really interesting shade of violet.
You're supposed to be investigating accidents, not having them.
I know. I'll be more careful next time. I promise.
I'd like to believe that, Nancy, but I just can't afford to. I'm in enough trouble with my insurance company already.
You don't mean...
Oh, but I do mean. You're fired.
Guess I better get this pond shoveled off. Weird. Looks like some kind of monument. What's this doing here? Strange. It's halfway in and halfway out. This thing must open up somehow. I feel warmer already.
Huh? Oh, hey.
People who sleep during the day usually have a hard time sleeping at night, you know.
I can sleep anytime, anywhere. That's what happens when you got a clear conscience.
Are you by any chance related to Rolf Kessler, the guy who used to build carousels around the turn of the last century?
No idea.
Since Mr. Talbot isn't here, could I play a game of fox and geese with you?
You bet. Have a seat. Here are the rules. The white pieces are the geese. The black piece is the fox. The goal of the geese is to corner the fox so he can't move, while the goal of the fox is to gobble up geese so that they can't corner him. The geese can only move forward along a line to the next point, either directly forwards, diagonally, or sideways. Same thing for the fox, except when he's next to a goose that has an empty spot directly behind it. He can jump over it.
Gobble it up.
Right. Gobble it up and remove it from the board. You just take turns and play until somebody wins and somebody loses. I'll be the fox. Ready?
You bet. Okay if we start over? That's finished. Can't check that off yet.